Hi there and welcome. This is Kate in the Nest, and I am so glad that you are finding some time to join me. I hope you are feeling well and enjoying whatever you are doing. I haven't planned what to do in this, but I just needed, as usual, to sit down and have some fun and share it with my friends. And speaking of friends, I've had a day of making again at the Green Door. It was our open studio where we could take our projects, and it's always a good opportunity just to review where we're at. So this is going to be some stitching and some crocheting if we get to that, and I'm going to talk to you about flowers because I it I think I shared the other day that it just starts to feel like, well, it's starting to feel like spring in the air, and it's like even the weeds feel it, so they're growing faster, and it's just that sense of renewal. So I've instead of my yellows and oranges today, I just felt like I would go back to this flowery pink needlebook that I made a while ago and do some stitching on that because I never actually finished it. And this is what I love about our projects, and I'm sure you do as well, that they're never finished, and that we can pick them up and add. So I really just want to do some really slow stitching to get me started. And I've got Pearl A in here, so let's do some delicate work on here. Just need to check something over here. That's right, because I didn't sort of go through the story. So it's not a video I can reveal a lot about because I don't know where we'll end up. But because so many of you are saying that you're enjoying stitching or crocheting along, let's just do that. So Kate has changed her mind, you see, because I was looking at those French knots. Oh, that's a new term, a French dot. I'll just do some what am I going to do? I think I'd like to outline this flower, and I learnt the other day that a good way is to backstitch around the shape. So let's do that first. Backstitch, just so easy. These aren't particularly neat, but they just add that texture. We may not be now, but because I did the Pauline Franklin flowers, was it flowers or florals? I should bring the promo up for it. And I've seen such beautiful stitching this week from others, not from me. It's given me encouragement to start doing some thread painting with stitches that really add the texture to the florals. So this was a piece, seems ages ago, that I pulled this out and cut off the flower, and at that time I knew that I didn't know quite what to do, so I left it. So this is Kate doing thin cotton rather than wool. It is dark, so I better look if I'm on. Yeah, I am. We don't need to see any more detail than that. And that little standing up movement, of course, made the thread pull out. Tired eyes, I think. Yep. Oh, goodness. I do happen to have in my flower in the teacup the little hidden threader that I haven't had to use. And we did get a threader in the shape of an umbrella as part of the course. And Zoe had some too. I'm so excited. So I must remember to put that in my kit so that I always have that with me. So yes, Pauline suggested that we outline flowers first with backstitch, and then she taught us long and short stitch and how not to use up all your cotton or wool on the back. So I really enjoyed that. I learnt so much. So thank you, Pauline. So it's feeling relaxing already. So if I get back on my floral or flowers theme, you know, all the embroideries and my quilts, etc., have lots of flowers that I've harvested, and we were chatting about those today. And then I was talking to one of the dear ladies around the table, and she was saying that she'd love to make some more crocheted flowers. And so we looked at one of Pauline's little tiny crocheted flowers, and I tried to copy that, probably not perfectly, in fact not perfectly at all, but we were just learning together side by side and experimenting. And then when I came home, I was getting ready down here, and I came across this, which was a thank you card from, so I can say it, it's Little Woolly Makes, and I got this a while ago now, but I remembered that the card had this little tiny crochet flower on it with a contrasting center, and I thought, oh, that's a different pattern, and that would work well for shaping petals, because when we crochet we can make so many different variations. But I thought, okay, let's see if I can work out the pattern to that. So before I knew it, I was making these flowers which then, you know, reminded me of this little needle book that I'd finished. The fastening is this crochet part of doily with a beautiful, delicate. So I suppose that's why I'm using pearl thread, because in my mind I've been thinking about the delicacy. But at the same time, you may be curious about what Kate is leaning on as she does this stitching. And I'm going to share that now. Oh, what did I drop then? I don't know what I dropped. So I'm not stopping stitching yet, but one of the workshops that we all did with Pauline was a crocheted bag, and I just found my happy place. Me and my nests, and my love of crochet at any time. I've ended up working today on my first crochet bag using fabric. So again, the scale is, it's large, everyone, and I apologize for that. But I suppose what I was thinking about when I came home and started making flowers to go on our slow stitch projects is that crochet is such a, I'm standing up just to give you an idea of the scale. This is fabric that I brought home from the States on my first trip in June from Kansas, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I haven't got the big piece here, but today I've stripped it, torn it into strips, and I've been crocheting with it. So I suppose this is an encouragement to make pieces that either have purpose by themselves or decorative to go on our stitching. But just look at this, everyone, the size of the hook. Here's my loop through here, go to the next gap, under, wrap around and pull through. Of course, Kate's not using fine material, she's using thick. So that's the beginning of our double crochet stitch. Here is the loop, over and through one loop. Hook it on, Kate, first. Under and under. And there is the most basic stitch, and having this amazing textural layer upon layer. So I'm not going to work on that today, but that brought me back to flowers and all the ways that we can make them and use them in our work. So let's go to this page. And because I've spoken about little woolly makes, here's some of the variegated wool 4-ply. And did I put my threader back in there? Yes, I did. Let's thread this up. And add some detail to this page because it's looking a little bit whitish. Let's start down here. I've also discovered if you think it's too poppy, that you can just vary where you start. So I want to tuck that inside actually. Oops. Let's go up from inside. Such a nice feeling to come back to a piece of work that you haven't done for a while. and add to the story. So let's add some interest to these round bits. 2, 3. That's nice. That pop. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Pull that through. Okay, so I've got a little nest of French knots there, and because we're coming out here, there's a beautiful fabric. Let's actually make some one of these cross stitches. Too far over. Oh, Kate stopped talking again because I was just reflecting on the day, and that I woke up to find the most beautiful comment on my video. I think it was, I don't know whether it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday's, and the gist of it was, you know, that when we're together and people are watching and we're chatting, that it makes our hearts happy. And my husband said, well, Kate, just one comment like that means it's so worth it to have been on this journey. And so I want to say thank you. I say thank you a lot because I just treasure the day, and I am so grateful for our making together. Okay, so there we are. We've had a little bit of stitching. You can't see that, but I'm going to, that's just sort of the rough beginnings. Let's close that little hook there. My battery's running out, but I think I've got a little bit more time. So what was I going to say? Oh, I was going to put that on there, but I didn't make it all the way down because I started doing those little pops. That doesn't matter. Maybe that's a bit too much for this one, but look at that. I'm hoping that's going to make you smile. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but the button and the crochet flowers. So let's, thinking of that delicate double-sided flower there. Oh, I've got this piece here too. So yeah, flowers everywhere. Haven't progressed on that piece, but will we? Oh, that's right. And around the table, people were saying, okay, will you end up adding flowers to your bag? And now looking at that and that, wouldn't that be fun? Woohoo! So we will see. The other thing I was inspired by was, oh, that's right, with the needlebook. This is sari. Is it sari? I don't know, actually, sorry if it's not. But this was in Zoe's pack that I got a little while ago. And I suddenly thought, oh, well, I put this into here. I could, and it would be very fine. So that could be a part. But at the other point, I thought it can be so quickly turned into a, what's the word? A wrap around something like this. So quick revision, if you can do that, you can crochet. Have a loop, wrap this round and pull it through. If you can do that, you can crochet anything, including this bag. So look at that. So maybe I'd rather make a flower out of this to put on here. See, I'm already, it's going to happen. Judy, it's going to happen. We will see. All right, let's get sensible. Quick reminder of that sort of shape. We will see how long. I thought I might make one in a plain pink for you to see rather than the variegated. So we're going to do a matte, and I have got a crocheted, oh, look, a separate crochet playlist, and I'll pop this on as well. Look at that, that just gives me happiness, that daisy there. Long story about that, but that's my gift from when I finished work. And I had a voucher, and I've been waiting because I didn't know what I felt like doing with that, because I want it to last forever and have memories. So I feel so happy I've done that. Okay, magic circle. Let's do double crochet, which is the same stitch as up here. So let's do 2 chain to start us off. 1, 2, and double crochet. We go straight into, hook around and come through. That gives you 2 loops over the needle and back again. So we've got 2 chains so far and 1 double crochet. I'm going to do 4 altogether. 1, 2. Oh, Katie, come on. 1. That's when I get tired. Tired but happy. Okay, so we've done 2 chains, 1 double crochet, second one in through the loop, over, back through, and 2 loops. That's 2 and 3. And as I was explaining to my friend, you can make up your own flower so easily. What's Kate doing? I just went straight into, oh, that's all right. I forgot to slip it together first. So impatient to get to the fun part. All right, so then to join that, we slip stitch across here. Sorry, everyone. So basically we've got a solid center now of the flower like this, which is different to, there are other ones I've crocheted. find it. I won't waste time. So now we need to, so we've got our little center, and we're going to think about how to make it pretty around the edges. So I'm going to go 2 chains there that are going to stand for a double crochet. Then I'm going to do 2 chain, 1, 2, and then I'm going to DC in the next stitch, which is there. Then 2, 1, 2 chains, and then into there. I'm doing this slowly, which makes it a little bit harder for me, but I know that it helps. We all learn differently. Okay, so we've got 1 loop, 2 loops, 3 loops. We want 5 because we want 5 petals. 2 more chain, and into the next one. 2 chain, 1, 2, and then we join back up to where we started with a slip stitch. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2 chain loops. Now, if you didn't want that to show, you could only do 1 chain or just do double crochets. It's what is beautiful about this is you can just make it up. Okay, so now I'm slip stitching into that gap so that we can build a petal, and I'm copying that design here, and because this makes a rounded petal. So 2 chain, a treble, which is loop over first and into that little space we made, another treble, and then 2 chain, and then we're going to slip stitch into that same space to make the petal, and I'll show you. So Virginia, I think this is actually more like what we were trying to do today. So that's a round petal. Now we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 chain gap, and the slip stitch is we're just putting it through literally and getting the loop through. All right, so here we go, petal number 2, and we'll go faster. So 2 chain, a treble, which is 2 loops and 2 loops, another one. How are you going with your hearts, everybody? I know quite a number are making them, and 2 chain into slip stitch again. There we are. We have 2 petals. It's so much fun to make up your patterns, or if you need, all over the internet there are flower patterns. Okay, slip stitch into the next gap, 2 chain, which gives us height, a treble over, in, loop over, through, 2 and 2, another one of those, and then 2 chain, sort of like the top of the heart, and slip it down. So there we are. We've got 3 petals, 2 to go. Let's be Speedy Gonzalez. Two chain, 2 treble, 2 chain, and slip it into the bottom of the petal. And the more you crochet, the more it will make sense to you, and you'll be able to start being freer. So we're up to our last petal, in with a slip stitch, 2 chain, 2 treble, 2 chain, and slip stitch. And then just to make it feel apart, you slip stitch into the one where we started. So there we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals. Chop that off. Oops. Sometimes it says, oh, sorry, I'm talking with the crochet hook in my mouth. There we are. A little pink flower to finish off a wonderful day. If I could remember where I put my previous flowers, I would stack them all up. Okay, so let's finish with a little, there's my flowers of my heart to yours. That's a different style one there, and a little blue one, and that's going to be it. I'm really looking forward to spending some more time with you. There'll be a crocheting video by itself, and of course the girls are revealing the next prompt for the Journal of Stitchery. So I will be excitedly getting on here and stitching along with you. So until then, thank you so much for your time with me. Sending blessings. This is lots of love from Kate. Bye.